Welcome to You're Not the Boss of Me. If you are determined to break glass ceilings and build it your way, this show is for you. I'm your host, Beth Graves, and I am obsessed with helping you to not just dream it, but make the plan, connect the dots, and create what you crave. Are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome back to episode number 46. This episode is going to give you a simple strategy for your social media that will get you out of overwhelm, overthinking, and have you showing up in a way that will attract new leads, new sales, and really cool people your way. So here we go. Well, hello. Before we get into this week's content for the episode that I have promised to get you out of overwhelm with how you post on your social channels, I am going to be doing a new little piece as we kick things off that is going to map a part of your business. So each episode you'll get the piece of content, the interview that gives you the big picture, but I am going to give you a little piece of the map, the Millionaire Action Plan. And this piece is from the organized track part of the map, which means how we organize our business. And this week, I want to talk to you about organizing new leads that come your way. And this is going to be really simple. This could be a whole episode, but here we go. As you are in Facebook groups, or maybe out and about, if you're lucky enough to be able to go someplace during this COVID, but if you're in a group, let's say that you are in a group that has keto recipes and you're connecting with some new awesome women that are also doing keto and maybe ride the Peloton, and you get a friend request and you make that connection. Make sure that you are putting that name on a list, meaning new contacts, new friends, new people. It doesn't mean, oh my gosh, I'm going to go chase her down and get her to buy my product. It means that you are attracting people to you because you're hanging out in groups, you're putting content, you're connecting, and you want to remember that new friend. So add that name. Let's call her Sandy. You've just met Sandy in the keto group. I still do old school recipe cards for the people that I meet on Facebook, on social media, so that when their birthdays come up, when we reconnect, when I see her stories, I can remember, oh, I met Sandy keto group. So I am going to tell you, however you keep track of your people, it's worth it. I'd rather you have 10 new awesome connections every month than 10,000 if they're genuine connections. So what I do is I have Google Sheets. I also use index cards, but I put Google Sheet, Facebook friend, the date, where we met, and if I know anything about Sandy, and then I set Sandy to see first on my Facebook. So I make sure that I'm doing what Aaron King in Digital Persuasion calls consciously connecting, commenting, so that my new friend and I can get to know each other. And that is how you can nurture a new friendship to see where it goes. So that is your Millionaire Action Plan tip, your map tip for organizing and tracking your business. For your reach outs is to keep track. Now, do it this week. I want you to add to that list and keep track of those names and set to see first so you have those connections. Now that brings us to you've made a new friend and they're checking you out. They're checking out that outfit. They're checking it out, meaning they're looking at your social media. Let's use Facebook for today. So Facebook, you've met your new friend, Sandy. You've connected. She sent you a friend request. Maybe you went and commented on something on her page, and she's going to come over and see what you are all about, right? And we want to make sure that Sandy is going to engage and connect and be curious and interested and find content that can relate to her. So when we think about a posting strategy, gone are the days, my friends. Gone are the days of posting over and over about yourself and your transformation and oh my gosh, I've done this and here's where I was. I love a good story post. But let's talk about content that serves a purpose. So if Sandy, let's give you an example, and then I'm going to give you the formula, so hang with me. I want you to really visualize Sandy that came from the keto group. And if you're hanging out in the right groups and you're engaging in the community because it matters to you, not engaging to recruit, engaging because it matters. And you're in this keto recipe group and Sandy's sharing about cauliflower tacos and you're cheering for each other and she sends you the friend request. Now, if you start right in on Sandy, like, hey, I noticed you like keto, you should buy my stuff, Sandy's going to run for the hills. So Sandy gets to see first and you get to know each other. Remember, I always talk about don't invite the new neighbor camping for 7 weeks before you've at least been knowing each other for a little bit. Sandy's set to see first. You will consciously connect. And one of the biggest things that I am going to be talking about over the next 4 weeks is the Power Hour, the map, the daily map that you can really do in 30 minutes, but I put everything into an hour. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week is what you do during your Power Hour. Exactly. So these little pieces that I'm building for you are all part of the building block of your Millionaire Action Plan. So Sandy comes over and she's checking you out. And I want you to look at that Facebook profile and say, does this represent the person that I am? Who am I? I am a woman in her 50s who has free-range children, almost free range. That's my new thing this week. I read it someplace in a book or something, empty nest. I'm a half empty nester. So I have one free-range child and one that's not home very often because who wants to be home at 16? But I want to show up as me. And I also I run a business. So I'm not going to hide the business, but I'm going to talk about it in many different ways. And I often think about my sister Karen, who before she retired, you could look at her Facebook page. She wasn't running a business online yet, but you could definitely tell that she was into educating people about political matters that mattered to her. She loves baking. She was sharing. She was asking questions, sharing what she was doing with her bread baking. She and Dan travel all over the world, and so she would share her travel. And then you would also know that she worked in tax. She would share some tax things with us. She would share things about the company Ernst & Young that she was with. But you could see the big picture. You could definitely go to her Facebook, and you still can, and you can see what she's passionate about. The only thing was she never had a call to action because she didn't have anything she was selling or sharing or talking about. So there was not a lot of promotion, but she's so good that she probably had about 25 people buy Pelotons because of her posts about Pelotons. Would Sandy come to your page and would she see a big picture about you, or would she see carefully filtered, perfect photos of this perfect life that you want her to believe that you have? I'm not saying that you want to put your shit all on social media, but what I'm saying is I think that we're done. And I read this from somebody that has a lot more influence than me on social media, with the perfectly curated pictures, photos that never show real life. And I know that we put a lot of real life in our stories, and I know that we want our feeds to be beautiful, especially the grid on Instagram. But I want you to consider that you don't always have to be perfect, and people will appreciate that. And we're going to talk about that when I give you this 5-post strategy. I am all for, let me get this straight, I'm all for having a bunch of photos that you love about yourself, that make you feel good when you post, that you even hire, go on. I found one of the best photographers, Elise, and if you're in West Palm Beach, Elise Hassel, she's amazing. She'll do a social media shoot for you. But I found her on Thumbtack. But then I went to Instagram and I started to search and ask, but just meet somebody, social distance, get your kid to take a bunch of pictures, put on your makeup, do your hair, look really good for a bunch of photos. Yes, I agree with that. But sometimes it doesn't have to be so perfect. So what I want to talk about is we've met that Sandy and we want to think about content. And content is what your content, this is content, my podcast, it's educating you, it's serving you. I hope it's making you laugh, smile, and learn something. And I'm speaking to you about your business. Your social media channel, your Facebook page, your stories, perhaps you have a Facebook group, you have Instagram, is where you get to share your content with your new connections. So it doesn't always have to be a long podcast, but what we want to talk about is what will Sandy see and learn, and why would she want to come back, and why would she find you interesting, and why would she have connection, and perhaps Why would she share you out with other people? If you're thinking, oh my gosh, what do I post? Just start posting and see what people will think is engaging. So we're going to use Marie Forleo shared this in one of her episodes. She does YouTube. And yes, Yogi's in the room with me snoring. I didn't really think people could hear him. And then I listened to an episode. I was like, oh, there's Yogi. Marie shared this, and I want you to have a notebook, and I want you to write on each page one letter, spelling out the word serve. SERVE, like serve the tennis ball, or content that serves. And here is what I want to chat about. First of all, when you go to post on social media, what do you post? Well, you can always I want you to keep a content journal with you, because if you hear someone complain about a problem, and I don't even care if it's about business, if they're complaining about, I can't find a comfortable sports bra that doesn't do X, Y, and Z, write it down. Maybe that's a post. But keep a journal of things that you hear and think, oh, that would be great on social media. And keep a swipe file too of something that you read and see that really relates to you. So what is serve? S, post something that solves a problem for your audience, for your ideal customer. So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to say, I solve a problem because I'm going to help you have more energy, but it can. So I would make an entire list of problems that your avatar has. And those are usually your problems, because usually your avatar is pretty much you before you had your transformation or on some really good days. So what are the problems that your avatar has? And I did a training today for an awesome group of entrepreneurs, and we talked about that solve a problem. Let me give you an example. You could solve a problem about energy. If you have a product that talks about energy, you could solve a problem with, maybe you know that your audience, if they're anything like mine, are starting to wear reading glasses, and solve a problem with, or ask a question that somebody could solve the problem about aging, reading glasses. Maybe there's some disconnection because of your almost empty nest, and you want to solve a problem about Sunday dinners. Asking questions and solving problems. So think about, I am going to solve a problem, or ask my audience to help me solve a problem today. That's always a great post. And I always think, take out as many I's as you can. That's another tip that Digital Persuasion Erin King had shared in one of her trainings, is talk about you, share about them. So if it's, I am feeling disconnected, move it to, have you ever felt disconnected? Or how about that Sunday dinner that hasn't happened in 7 weeks? Who can relate? Use your voice, your authentic voice, how you would have a conversation if you called your sister. There are so many ways, and I am putting together a resource for you that will talk about 100 ways to solve a problem, 100 ways to do SERVE. And don't you worry, because my website is being redone and all of the free resources will be right there. And I think we might even have this one done for you next week. But you just have to keep showing up in Camp Elevate and show up over on Beth Holden Graves on Facebook. I will let you guys know by email as well when the resources are ready. We're kind of revamping some things that we're doing. E, explain your industry, explain your business, explain your product. E is a time, if you did that once a week, that you just explained your industry, explained, like, what is network marketing? Why are so many people showing up as network marketers today? Explain what you do, explain the product, explain your industry, explain something that will help your audience to know. So if Sandy's on my page, maybe I would explain why I made the decision to build a business with network marketing and not come out of the gate with an entrepreneurial pursuit, like something like I do here with the podcast. That wasn't what I could have done in 2014. I would have been like, what? What's an email list? So explain your industry, explain your product. R, reveal your secrets. People want to know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe if you have an audience who are entrepreneurs and they want to learn how to take better selfies, reveal the secret. Reveal the secret of maybe how you all of a sudden started to have your bathroom smell better because you were using your non-toxic products. Reveal your secrets even is, how do you have, if you're talking about today's our anniversary, or I've been married for 25 years. Reveal a secret about how you made that happen. Every time you're posting on social media, I want you to think about, how is this serving, connecting, and helping that new friend, Sandy, that I just met, or some of my old friends or my old connections. And so you'll shift it to, if you were in a room and you were only talking about me, all about me, they're like, you know that conversation. So ask a lot of questions and think about, how can I help? How can I serve? And how can I gain information from these people that are my audience, that are my friends, that are the people that I'm connecting with? So it's solve a problem, explain your industry, reveal your secrets, and V is for visualize. And I want you to think about visualize as future self. So my friend Stephanie, she coaches around always making decisions daily about your future self. I always say that we get a lot of interaction on social media, and a lot of people like to share, like, where do you think you'll be in 10 years? Or having people visualize the future. Asking about, what do they think will happen? Like, what do you think is going to happen on the backside of this pandemic? Visualize, where will social media be? Where will transportation be? Where will your industry be? And I'll add to this that the visualization side for me brings up a lot of mindset work. So visualize. And that one can go, there are so many different directions. And I'm actually creating a Trello board for all of you as well that has all of the different ways that you can use serve in your social media. That's part of what you're going to get with the freebie. So, and then the last one is embrace your quirks. So I want you to follow my friend Erin Lateral Burke on social media. She's a photographer, and many of you know her if you're listening. I was in Greece with her, and she has a brand that she calls Be Seen. And she embraces her quirks like nobody else on social media. She shows up and she will be seen. How would you embrace your quirks? Let people see the authentic you. Let people see the side of you that makes them laugh, that, if you're wearing socks, and embrace your quirks a lot in your stories as well. But embracing your quirks will even show people, if you want to wrap it back to a business post, right? We've talked about 80-20, embrace your quirks, entertain, help people to laugh. So we've got the solve a problem, explain your industry, reveal your secrets, visualize, embrace your quirks. Now, the last thing that I'll tell you is I like to have a variety of ways that you get to show up as you, to show what it is, what you stand for, what you do, your personality, your purpose, and then your promotion. So always ask, does this show my personality? Is this part of my purpose? So perhaps solving a problem, maybe you want to solve a problem about something very, very serious and real. And that way you would provide a valuable resource. Solving a problem could even be bringing a valuable guest to do a Facebook Live. Or maybe it's sharing a book that has allowed you to that's allowed your eyes to open in terms of what is white privilege. Maybe you're just going to solve a problem that is super light about how are you going to keep the drops off of your refigerator in your kitchen or whatever, like the stainless fingerprints, whatever. Solve a problem, explain your industry, reveal your secrets, visualize the future, ask questions about the future. Where do you want to be? Where have you been? Where do you want to go? And embrace your quirks. And that will give you a lot of content to post. So I've given you a ton of content strategies. And the last thing that I want to share with you today is, as you're looking at that list of serve, also start to think about, what I like to do is to have a little bit of a theme for the week. Not always, but maybe if I'm going to think about sharing a lot about my product and the solution that we have with fighting inflammation or getting your happy back, I might do serve that is leading up to a final post that actually has a call to action, meaning a promotion. Remember, like once every 10 days, a flat out promotion post. And then I will also go into my stories and say, okay, today I'll solve a problem. I'll explain the industry. I'll make people laugh. Reveal your secrets. That could be an invite to something that you're teaching. And one thing that is really, really great to do for your business is many times, and this is something that I've learned from some of our young, really great social media wizards on my team, is we had Sarah Cole that was on as a guest, and she loves to do training around, like this week, she and Jenna Barrow did a training around how to monetize Instagram. And it was to meet and connect with people that could be good prospects for their network marketing business. But if we're talking about reveal a secret or explain your industry, inviting to something that isn't, yes, there are times when you're going to say, and I do it all the time, I would love for you to take a look at what this company is all about, asking to see a presentation. But that is a softer step of connecting with someone that you know is on an entrepreneurial journey or wants to learn about Instagram. They put together a fun, quick presentation, invited people to take a look. And then the follow-up is, this is how we use Instagram to build our business. We'd love for you to have a conversation with us about that. I just revealed a secret right there, right? I just revealed a secret that you can do to help build your business. And when you look at somebody's social media, say, are they solving a problem? Are they explaining their industry? Are they revealing a secret? Are they helping me to visualize my future self, to be better, to use mindset to move me forward? Are they embracing their quirks, making me laugh, showing personality? Ask your question in that way. And then also take it a step further and say, okay, if this week I'm going to be talking a lot about how do you bring your business side and your product side into these posts? So if I am really, really, really pushing for people to get started on a product, my product, I might solve a problem, decide what problem would people that want to have my product in their body have. So I might solve that problem. I might explain what I do, how I help people. I might reveal a secret, and that might be why my product works so well. I'm getting kind of stuck on that one. Reveal a secret. That might be one piece of the product. Or if you're an essential oil person, reveal your secret about how you actually get your house not smelling like wet dogs when you have 6 dogs. And the visualization piece, to me, is a testimonial. Can you visualize where you want to go when you are using this product? Let me share with you my friend Tracy, who has now been using our product, and she's going to share her story so you can visualize where you want to go with your health and wellness. And embrace your quirks. Do that all day long in your story. So to sum it up, we talked about making sure that you're keeping track of your list, your new leads, making sure you remember to see first, to make some connection along the way, and then using serve to really show your authentic self. And here's my last tip. If somebody engages with you on a post, you have to engage back and ask questions and keep the conversation going, because if you leave it, it's like walking into a room and saying, hello, hello, hello. If I walked into my neighbor's house and she's sitting on the couch and I was like, Pam, hey, I'm here, and she didn't look up, that to me is like not engaging on a social media post. So use your serve. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if you have any questions. You can hop in the DMs on Instagram or on Facebook. Share this episode out, my friends, in your social media channels if you think it would serve someone who's working to build their network marketing business. And next week, I am going to talk about the Power Hour. So make sure you hop on next week. And as always, be you bravely. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today on You're Not the Boss of Me. I'm hoping that you found one thing that you will do today that will allow you to move forward to that big, audacious goal. And I have a favor to ask of you, and that is leaving me a 5-star review over in iTunes. Every single week, I read your reviews. I love hearing what you have to say, and it allows me to bring you more, to get more people to interview that are doing the thing, breaking the glass ceilings, creating what they crave, and helping you with your game plan. So leave me a 5-star review, and when you do, I enter you to win the You're Not the Boss of Me swag. So make sure you leave it and we'll reach out to you if you're the winner. Thanks so much for hanging with me today, and we'll chat with you soon.